Alright, here's Eleanor's tins. Most of the sanding has been done on it, and I've also painted the backside of them. And this color is not the final color, I just had some leftover paint, so I sprayed the backside and with what you got. The front side is actually going to be my final color. This is the side, of course, that you're going to see. Same thing goes on these. I got the inside of them already painted, so they're pretty good shape. A little bit of final wet sanding. I'm going to power my way through this because it's kind of boring and I don't think you guys are going to be too interested in it, but we'll time lapse right through it. I've been filling little cracks and imperfections with just putty, and then I sanded them lightly and then went ahead and primed over that, and that's been working out pretty good. It's just some cheap ass primer here, the filler primer, just for touching up the little spots, and that's done a pretty good job. Things are pretty flat. In particular, right here in cylinder 4, you remember this corner was all beat to death, and it's actually smooth now, so it should get a nice shiny surface on it without having too many waves in it. And of course the breastplate, this thing was full of all kinds of pock marks and holes, and most of what was in here, this was a big circular piece that was welded in. There was a big circular piece here that's all smoothed over now. Needs a little more final sanding, and then we can call it good to go. And I've got a bucket up here with some soapy warm water and just a medium coarse grit. A medium grit, not a medium coarse grit. That doesn't make any sense. Just to go ahead and run over this just a little bit to get it kind of smooth. Flatten it out a little bit more. These things turned out quite smooth. I'm rather impressed with myself. I haven't even loaded them up with any Bondo or anything. This is just primer and a little bit of putty and a couple of spots here and there wherever there was a dent. Not really a dent, I should say. A mark, you know, a scratch in the metal perhaps. A little bit of a high spot right here. Sanding has almost gotten it, but yeah, that fixed it. Yeah, right here there's still one. Much better. These are a lot of the spots that nobody is ever going to see. You know, up along this lip, nobody will ever see that. Up under here, nobody will ever see that. I don't need to focus too much attention on that. The goal is just to get them smooth enough to throw some paint on. Once they're in the engine compartment, because it's such a busy place, there's so many different components and stuff, any of these little scratches and stuff is probably going to hide. You won't actually get to see it. Okay, and this piece I don't think I'm going to do anything to. You know what? I sanded it once, but I still feel a couple of little spots. Just give it a quick once over. And typically when you wet sand, you would take a, let's say, black spray paint and just lightly mist over the surface. And then you sand until you make all the little black spots disappear. And I've done that already. I actually went over it twice. And that's more attention to this than I ever wanted to give to it. Much more attention. Alright, we're going to call this done. Let's go ahead and get this thing rinsed, and then we'll take it into the shed where we can start painting. Well, hey, welcome back to DuckmanCycles and VW Garage. I'm your host, the Duckman. We're back today working on the engine tins for my 1956 Beetle, also known as Eleanor. I've been putting that thing off for probably about the last 2 or 3 weeks. I've just been so damn busy. So I've been doing a little bit of polishing here and there and a little bit of working at the primer and flattening things down. And I got the back side of the tins painted, as you saw. So today I did the final sanding on it, and right now we're going to go ahead and get set up. You see the tins hanging up there in the back because we're going to throw a coat of paint on them. And not just any coat of paint, but this is going to be the final coat. And hopefully I don't screw it up. It's a color I made myself. I mixed a couple things together, and I really like the way it turned out. So I think I'm going to go with it. It's kind of neutral. It matches everything, so it'll be good no matter what color Eleanor turns out to be. Anyways, let's go ahead and get set up here. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, pluck that dingle belly, and check out duckshit.net right up here in the corner. I guess it's this corner. I don't remember anymore. I'm all disoriented. Anyways, hit up there. There'll be a brand new website. You can find all my social media links there. And thanks for watching. We'll be back in just a couple. We've got everything strung up here except for the shroud, and I'm about to string that up right now. I hadn't done any talking about the shroud, but the paint that was on it didn't come off easy, so I decided to leave it on. Let's turn this around here so I can see myself. There we go. So I decided to leave it on and just scuffed it up real good so paint should stick to it real nicely. So we're going to take this right here, hang it up on this hook. And yeah, my parts are kind of close together, but as you saw last time, they weren't hitting each other because I'm very careful about how I do my painting here. Painting is not really my area of expertise, but I do the best that I can. But anyway, oh, look at that. We still have us a wet spot. Well, I'm going to let that dry because we don't need paint that doesn't stick due to there being a wet spot. And the rest of it looks pretty good. There must have been a water droplet somewhere in a corner or an edge somewhere that I touched and put on there. We'll let it sit, but we'll be right back after it dries. We're back. This sucker looks like it's nice and dry at this point. I let it sit for just another 20 minutes and the little watery fingerprints disappeared. Anyways, I got all my paint and everything set aside here. I got my colors picked out. I'm not telling you what the color is. You get to wait until you see it sprayed and dried. Otherwise, no close-ups until then. Let's go ahead and get some paint mixed. I hope this turns out the way I expect it to. I don't know what I'm going to experience here, but the paint should end up with a nice color. But we'll see. I forgot to hit the record button as I was stirring up paint. But I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of talking anymore because, yep, I'm masked up and you won't be able to hear me too good anyway. Alright. You want to have the mask on before you open up the hardener anyway, because this stuff is, this will kill you. Woo. I think we're going to let that first coat dry a little bit, and then we're going to come back and hit it one more time. But I like the way it turned out, and I don't know if you could tell by the lighting, but I think the color turned out really nice. I mixed it myself, and boy is it shiny. Back in a minute. Alright, we're coming back for a second coat. Like an idiot before, I didn't put gloves on, and I oversprayed onto my left hand. Thankfully it wiped right off. I got it off quick, but let's go ahead and do another coat. Alright, we're going to let that dry, and we'll come back to it one more time for a third coat. Alright, we're going for the third coat. You might remember in the video, I pre-painted the backside of every one of them. That made it a whole lot easier for me to grab the piece, to flip it over, to hit the paint, because there was a dry side. So needless to say, well, that's from overspraying myself, but I didn't fuck up any of the paint in the process. So there it is. It's all up nice and high. I can slip the fastback under it tonight. Everything should dry. And then hopefully, when the sun comes back out, probably tomorrow, we can put them on the engine and you guys can see what the color exactly is. Wish I could show it tonight, but unfortunately we lost the sun. We're expecting a really bad storm tonight, which is what stirred up the wind, and the wind is causing everything to flap just as much as balls on a running goat. And it's just, I don't know. I just hope I didn't get too much dirt in the paint. Anyway, we're gonna get cleaned up, and we'll be back in just a little bit. Well, I think that's just gonna about sum it up today. I've got a coat of paint, actually 3 coats of paint on these things, and I'm really happy with the way they turned out. I know that you guys can't see it the same way I can see it, but these things have a really nice color and are extremely shiny. In fact, shinier than I wanted them to be because, well, they're gonna see all the dirt when it gets in the engine compartment. Anyways, I'm going with it. I think they're really pretty. I think they look really good. So as always, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, pluck that dingle bell you see down next to the subscribe button. That way you get updates every time I upload a video. Check out duckshit.net right up here in the corner. That way you can go to my social media pages, all of them. All my links are there. You can also find a way to my Patreon if you'd like to throw me a bone. There's even a way there to throw me a $1 donation if you feel like throwing $1. If you feel like pissing away a couple bucks, go ahead and go over there and send me through my little PayPal me link. You know, a couple dollars for gratuity for everything that I've done. I painted my arm. You can see where the glove was, but I managed to get a little overspray on the arm. It'll wipe up, not a big deal. I was hoping to have all this stuff out in the daylight today while we still had daylight, but unfortunately I kept getting sidetracked, the phone kept ringing, and that's just the way life goes. But we're expecting sun probably tomorrow afternoon, if not for sure Saturday, and well, I also have a Volkswagen event on Saturday. Yeah, so there'll be a video up for that also over on VW. Anyways, thanks for watching again. Really do appreciate it. But as soon as we got some sun, I'll break these things out so you guys can see the actual color. I'm sorry to be holding out, but I just can't demonstrate what color it is. You know, you can't see it. You can't see it. It just looks black. It's just black, but it's not black. Yeah, trust me, it's not black. It's not black. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll be back. Don't forget to eat your vegetables. Okay. Decided I was just gonna take a little ride to go get a couple things for dinner before it starts to rain. That storm is supposed to be pretty nasty. I don't want to be stuck at home for I don't know how many hours it's gonna be with winds up to 70 miles an hour. We're talking like, you know, tropical storm, damn near hurricane stuff overnight here, and well, I don't really want to deal with that, but if I'm going to be home, I got to make sure that I've got stuff to eat, the ducks have stuff to eat, and if I want to have a drink, damn it, I'm going to make sure I have everything to make a drink. Still cold. There's all that hiccuping and bucking and shit whenever it's cold. I've got to figure out a way to make some manual chokes on this car. Just make a little butterfly or something that fits on the inside of the air cleaners that I can actuate via cable. Doesn't have to be exotic electronic choke or electrical choke like you find on the stock Beetle. Just a little, you know, pull thing on the dashboard would be nice. Could even be between the seats. Just something to enrich in that mixture to make it a little easier to get it warmed up and going. Alright, probably gonna be here a minute. Oh, damn it. Why can't I get this thing into gear? That's a new problem. All of a sudden I can't find third and it'll go into reverse without pulling the trigger. Now there's third. Weird. I don't know what the hell that was all about. I know it's not my shift coupler. I've already been through that thing and looked it all over. Everything's fine. Ah, oh, fucking Volkswagens, I'll tell you what. Fucking Volkswagens. Come on, traffic. Give me a hole. And now I can't find third again. First, second, and no third. Well, there's third. Felt like there was an obstacle in the way of the stick. That allowing me to go into reverse was really freaking weird. There it did it again. Alright, something's wrong here. Intermittently, it's moving the whole shift pattern over. I don't quite understand why it's doing that. I'm gonna have to take this thing back apart again. Definitely don't need to be putting it in reverse while you're moving forward. You're just gonna eat up the damn gears. Warming up now, though. Yeah, there's second like it's supposed to. There's first. I don't know what the hell did that. That was one of the strangest things ever. Weird. That thing's really weird. Definitely gonna have to take the bushing out. Not the bushing, the damn coupler and look at it again. Maybe something broke on it since the last time. I doubt it though. I doubt it. I think it might be in the shifter itself now that I'm thinking about it again. I might just loosen the bolts and then push it left or right on the tunnel. See if I can find a spot where it feels a little bit better. Holy crap, you just thought there was a hurricane scare or something. Felt like I was in line for almost an hour behind people that were just so slow. Barely pulling everything out of their cart as fast as the cashier could sign it. I mean, come on, you sign it, swipe it. Sign and swipe, I'm thinking credit cards. But anyway, they were unloading their damn carts so slow. Took friggin' forever. Kids were running around climbing on shit, swinging from things, throwing things, screaming the high-pitched tea kettle scream. I don't stand for that shit. That's one of the reasons why I don't have kids. Oh man. Oh, camera's wiggling. Let's fix that. There we go. Volkswagen club meeting tonight got canceled because everybody chicken shitted out because of the rain. It's currently 7:30. The meeting would have started at 7, and there's our rain. Look at all this. Oh my god. There is a fog starting to roll in though. I'm starting to see a bit of a haze. But I don't think the rain is due until late tonight. I mean, late tonight. 10, 11 p.m., maybe later than that. It'll probably still be raining when I wake up, but I think that by about lunchtime or sometime after lunchtime it should be done with. We'll know when tomorrow comes. But anyway, they were all out of the bubbly cola that I drink, and I had to pick a different one, which really doesn't make me very happy. I was very satisfied with the one that I had. Oh, anyway. On the throttle, I'm feeling a bang underneath the floor at the back. I wonder if I already broke one of the new transmission mounts. I'll have to check the rear subframe mount too. There's a possibility maybe one of those bolts are loose, or maybe a couple of them are loose. I went through them all and tightened them down some time ago, but who's to say what happened since? And if I go like that, I could actually feel a loud bang under the floor in the back. That's probably what it is. Something's loose somewhere, and that could be why the shifter isn't working right. If the transmission is misaligned for some reason, of course the shifter shaft doesn't go into it properly. If I ripped my nose cone mount that I put on there last year already, I think I'm going to replace it with a Rhino mount. Yeah, I do drive the thing kind of hard. I have done some burnouts with the car, which it's certainly not designed for. The good thing about the customized nose cone mount bracket that I made for this car, it's really easy to remove, and I mean really easy to remove. You can actually leave the engine and transmission in place. Just put a jack under the transmission to support it. Remove the 2 bolts and the 2 nuts. Slide the bolts out. And the bracket falls out in your hands. You replace the mount. Slide all the bolts and nuts back together, and that's it. Easy. So I'll stick my head underneath there and see if I already ripped my nose cone mount. Not a surprise, it was probably a Chinese manufactured one if that's what happened. And once again, that would explain why I'm having difficulty getting into gear. I'm almost willing to put my money on it since I'm feeling that bang. Like I said, I just noticed it. I don't know if you can hear it. Bang. There's definitely something back there that's not right. Come to think of it, I'm supposed to be driving this thing on Saturday to a car cruise. I don't think I'll have it fixed by then. Yeah, that doesn't seem dangerous, I suppose. As long as I can get it into gear, it should be fine. We're home. That was that fucking cat. parts, should be able to roll right under them. Turn that engine off so we don't stir up any dust in here. Yeah, rolled in there just fine. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.